Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzul bin Ibrahim. Now I will present to you our website called your item room management system, or the short form is URMS. As you can see on the screen right now is index.php, which is contain our first page interface of website, and all of this is a coding for our interface. So don't worry, I will show to you how it looks like on the website. There is nothing, it's only a text and information about us, about our system. There's nothing special over here. Alright, let's move on to the next page, which is login.php. And login.php is contain the interface for the user to log in. As you can see here, there's a two form, which is the first one is for technician and the second one is for lecturer. If you notice that in the form action there's a login 0.php, which it will connect, which all the information that been input in this page will be sent to the file login 0.php. When they click the button submit, the first form is for the technician support technician account. There are two input. The first one is username and password, so the technician must input their information and click submit in order to log into the account. Same for the lecturer account. Same for the lecturer, they have to input username and password. So if the lecturer want to log into their account, they must input their username and password, then click submit. When they click submit, all the information they put in the input will paste on the login 0.php, and the below is there's nothing special, there's only a text to welcome back. As you can see, it's welcome back technician, welcome back lecturer. Now let's move on to the how it posts the all the information in the login page. But before that, I will show you our db connection.php, which is, as you can see, the user is the root and the password is our php my name password. Host is a local host and our database name is called URMS. Alright, let's go to the login 0.php. In this login 0.php, after the user click the button submit, it will run this logic syntax, which is if is set post submit, then all the information they put in the text box in the login page will paste on here. If the user doesn't use their information for login, they use admin. If username equal to admin and password equal to admin, they can log in to the system. But if they don't use the admin, they use the information that contained in the database, which is their information like username and password. Then this syntax, which is select from user, which is user is our name, our table name, where your name is our attribute equal to username and password. If the username and password is same as in the database, they can log in to the system and go to the panel.php. But if the information username and password is not same, they will pop out an error invalid username and password. Alright, now I will show to you the demo of our website. This is our first page of website and the index.php. As you can see, this is our system name called your item room management system, or the short form is URMS. And as you can see, this is our design. All of this is designed for our first page of the site. If you notice that there is a button called Start Manage Classroom, which is if I press it, it will bring me to the next page, which is called login page. Same goes to the login text. So if I press this button, as you can see, it brings me to the login page, which is called login.php. Now I will show you, if I press the login text, it will bring me to the same page. So if you notice that on the left is called the login for lecturer account, and on the right is the login as technician. So if I press login as technician, it should bring me it should change the text. As you can see here, it changed to login for the initial account. If you remember earlier, I say that if the user doesn't use their information, their account information, doesn't use their username and password, but they use the admin instead, they should be able to log into the system and go to the panel.php page. So I will demo to you. Insert admin as well as password admin. But if I press it, as you can see, I'm able to log into the system, and I'm right now in panel.php. Now I will show to you. I will use the account from user account, which means I will use the username and password that contained on database. Now I will try to use username Haiqal and password Haiqal123. So if I insert that, I should be able to log into the system. So I insert Haiqal, and the password is Haiqal123. So if I press it, as you can see, I'm able to log into the system and on the PHP. That's it from me for the login. Thank you. Alright, and now I will continue on the presenting about search. Right now we are on a search the paper file, and as you can see on the screen, all of this is the coding for the our search interface of on our website. As you notice, there's an option over here. This option is for user to choose whether they want to search the class list from the database based on the class name, property code, date, or lecturer name. And there is an input class name, where this is an input for the user to insert uh, the that the class list that they want to search, and the submit button for them to press in order to display uh, the class list that they want to search. Okay, we continue on the search list.php. In the search list.php is where all the data that has been inserted on the search.php will be executed, and all the class lists that have been shared with search will be displayed on the table of the search list.php. And all of this is the HTML coding for the table interface. And over here is the database connection. Post type is the post type is the data that we get from the search.php, where the user get to choose whether they want to search based on class name, quantity, date, or lecturer name. And the post class name is the data that get from the search.php, where the user insert the data that they want to search. For example, if they want to search uh, the class list based on the class name, so they need to set the class name. For example, DK200. And if the type is class name, then the data will be searched based on the class name. If the type is properties, then the data will be displayed based on the property. If the type is equal to date, then the class list will be displayed based on date. If the type is lecturer, then the search class list will be displayed based on lecturer name. Then below is the if the data that inserted is invalid, and the database and the data that we inserted is doesn't have up in the database, it will display nothing, it will invalid and display nothing. While if the data that they insert is there is a data in the database, so it will fetch all the result on the table. And the below is only the HTML and the text. Okay, right now we show the demo for our search page. As you can see here, we are now on the search page of our website. And over here, if you notice there's a class name, there's an option over here. You can see there's an option for class name, property code, date, and lecturer name. For example, if I want to search based on the property code, so I press the property code and enter. For example, I enter FSG, and then if I press the submit, As you can see, it show all the classroom list for the faculty code FSG. I will show a demo again. But if I want to search based on lecturer name and I enter the lecturer name, for example, Dr. Izzul, and if I press the button submit, as you can see, it will display all the classroom list based on the lecturer name, which is Dr. Izzul. That's it from me for demo about search. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haziq Alfan bin 𝐀𝟒𝐂𝐒𝟏𝟒𝟒. Right now, I'm gonna show to you demo about how to register a new account in RMS system. Okay, as you can see here, there's an interface for the registration and login. Okay, I'm gonna click the register a new account. Register. Okay, that's the registration form. You have an email, name, username, password, and account type. Okay, and I'm gonna enter a new email for a new account. For example, click Alfian at icloud.com. Name it will be Haziq Alfian. Okay, the username I will just put the number 3, and the password is 12345. Okay, account type we can choose the account whether this user is lecturer or technician. Okay, and I'm going to click lecturer. Okay, just click the register to register any account. You can see here register. Okay, this pop-up say account has been registered. So I click OK. Right now I'm gonna show to you about new account that store in database. Fresh. Okay, as you can see here, there are new account. It's the Haziq Alfian, user is 3, password 125, and the account type is a lecturer. Okay. Okay, right. Okay, now I'm gonna present behind. And use the code for the register.php colleague. Okay, this is a DB connection to, this is the connection name. And group management system, RMS. And this is the registration form. For example, email and the placeholder is email, name is name, placeholder, username, password is username, password, type is a password, and placeholder is a password. These are the option for account type. As you can see here, there are 2 accounts right at this. For option number 1 is lecturer. Option number 2 is technician. Okay, when you click submit button, you can pass the value to register button. Okay, these are overlay cleaner. Okay, moving on the next code about register 0.php. As you can see here, there's a window. If okay, right here, capture value from HTML form, it means that when you store the data or information about a new account in a HTML form, it will pass the value into SQL. You can see here, email, name, username, password. It's all then it will pass in the database. Okay, it's the class SQLi clause or connect for data security purpose. Okay, I will show the example. It's a table for user. As you can see here, ID, email, name, username, password, account type, it will pass the value. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haiqal and I will explain about the classroom list, the delete features, and also the JavaScript calculation features. Okay, so let's take a look at the classroom list first. Okay, here we have a data about the classroom. Okay, so we retrieve all this data from the database. Okay, here is the database for classroom. Okay, so let's take a look at the coding. Okay, here we have a coding for table header, and down here we have a coding for table content. So what happened here is we select all from classroom table, and we display all attribute in the database classroom table to the table, database classroom to the table. Okay, so it will be like this. So it take the data from the database classroom. This data. Okay. So here also we have update button and also a delete button. Okay, for a delete button, we take a classroom ID from the database and we store in the V. So also it will redirect to delete.php. So when the user click this, it will bring to delete.php. So here is the delete.php coding. Okay, so first we get the V value first. So it will store to the classroom ID, and for the SQL we delete from classroom where classroom ID is equal to classroom ID that we get from V. Okay, so let's try it. So let's say I want to delete Dr. Kamarul BK03 from Fakulti Sains Gunaan by Dr. Kamarul. So I will delete this data. So data has been deleted. Okay, let's see whether the data still have or not. Okay, so for the Dr. Kamarul, we only have BK200A and also BK02. So the data will be deleted. Okay, so let's take a look at the JavaScript features, calculation features. Okay, here we have total class time for today. So we have 4 class here for today. So today is 14 July 2022. So here we have only 4 class. So let's see whether it is correct or not. Okay, first we have from the .alfian. Okay, and also we have from Mr. Nabil BK200A, and we have BK03 from the Alfian also, and also we have BK01 from Mrs. Amina. Okay, so we only have 4 class for today. Okay, so the total hour for today is 7 hours 30 minutes. So how we get this is we take end time minus and start time and sum with all the classes today for today. So here is the coding. Okay, for the PHP to retrieve the data for PHP, we use this. We select start time, end time, date from table classroom, and we store in the start and time. Start and date. Okay, for the JavaScript, okay, here is the JavaScript. Okay, here we have the current date for today and also the database date. Okay, for database date, it will check, it will take a database date, and then if the current date equal to database date, and it will push start time result start time from database to start time and result end time to end time. So here is the calculation where we take the total start time and total end time, and with total end time we minus with total start time, and also and we get the data we plus with total. So here it will whenever it looping, it will increase the total value. So here we have total class. So here total class plus 1 equal to total class. So here function here is function for the decimal 2 times. So here we get the answer in decimal. Let's say like we have maybe we talk, okay, now we have like 7 hour 30 minutes. So here it will show like 7.5 like that. So we convert 7.5 to the time. We use this function to convert it. So it will be like 7 hours 30 minutes instead of 7.5 hours. Okay. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hariz bin Zaid. So in this video, I will show you how our system add the data. So as you can see here, in this HTML form, you can see for the form action, we are using the method post. So in the form that we will see after this in our interface, we will have the this please insert data below. We need to insert the data, class name, faculty, class code. So faculty we have 4 options. Not under faculty. Faculty applied science, faculty of account, and faculty of computer science and mathematics. And then we have start time, end time, date, lecturer name, and also the button submit. So after we done completing the form, we will click the button submit. So it will capture the value from the HTML form that we used the post method before. That will capture the value, class name, faculty, start time, end time, date, and lecturer name. So in SQL form, the data will be inserted to the classroom table with the variable that we insert before, like class name, faculty, start time, end time, date, and lecturer name, to the value with the method post, and then all the data that we insert will be saved into the database. After that, it will print data has been saved. Okay, I will show you how our interface works. So you can see here we have a button add new data. We click add new data. After that, we insert the data on this form. For example, CS110. So CS110, Faculty Science, Computer and Mathematics. So we set the date 8:00 AM to 10:00 AM. So the date is the date today. So lecture name. So after we click the submit button, so as you can see here, it will pop up, data has been saved. So we can see here, the data already been saved in the database. So the CS110 FSKM 8 to 10 AM, the date, and also the lecturer name. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syamirul bin Rizwan. So now I will explain about member list in our project and how to update the data for our system. Okay, so firstly, the member list. I will show about the member list. Okay, so this is the member list in our system. We use the table method to do the member list. Okay, so firstly we have the table header. We have picture, name, IC number, student number, program code and name, group class and email. After that, we have the table content for all of the information for our member, such as Mama Haiqal, Izzul Helmi, Mama Hariz bin Zaid, Mama Haziq Alfian, and 𝐷𝐻𝐿. So let's see the coding. So this is the coding for our member list. Okay, so this is a table header, picture, name, IC number, student number, program code and name, group and email. So this is the table content for our member list. This is all of the data for our member: Haiqal, Hamzah, Izzul, Hariz, Zaid, Mama Haziq Alfian, and 𝐷𝐻𝐿. Okay, done. After, so this is the result for our member list. Okay, after that, I will explain about the updated data in our system. Okay, let's say I want to update this data. Okay, I want to update this data. So click this is the panel.php page. Click the update data. So the page will redirect to the update.php page. V equal to training is the CRM ID. This is the CRM ID of the data. So wait. So this is the CRM ID for the data is equal to true. So let's say I want update BK04 faculty of account. Let's say time is 2:30 p.m. until let's say 5. Okay. And then let's say I want do the class tomorrow. So tomorrow is 15. Okay. Okay. And lecture name is Dr. Syamirul. Okay. Then we click the button submit. After that, the page will redirect to the update 0.php. V equal to 3 is still the same room ID. And then data has been updated. So we click OK. So we go back to the panel.php. So this is the updated data. Okay, and then how it works? Let's see the coding. So firstly, the coding panel.php. So this is how we do the button update. So the button update will redirect to the update.php, and the CRM ID is equal to, and the V is equal to CRM ID. So the CRM ID is 3. The CRM ID is 3. Okay, let's say like it's 3. Okay, and then update, we go to the update.php. This is update.php. At this page, the system asks the user to insert all of the data to update. So such as class code, faculty, faculty, start time, end time, date, and lecturer name. So after that, we use the method post method to bring all of this data from the update.php page, go to the update 0.php. This formation equal to update 0.php. So underscore get V is the room ID. So V is 3 because the room ID is 3. Okay, we go to the update 0.php. So this is the capture values from HTML form. So we use the underscore post method to bring the data from update go to this page. So class equal to underscore post class, faculty equal to underscore post faculty, start equal to underscore post start time, and equal to underscore post end time, and so on. And at CRM ID, we use underscore get V. V is 3 because the room ID is equal to 3. Okay, and then the SQL statement is update classroom set room name equal to class, faculty equal to faculty, start time equal to start, end time equal to end, date equal to date, lecture name equal to lec, and where CRM ID is equal to CRM ID. So the CRM ID is 3. So the data will be updated. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzul. Now I present to you our app development for UiTM room management system, or the short form is URMS. As you can see right now, we are on the screen 1, which is our first page of our app development, and this is our first page interface, our first page design. This is the design of our first page on app development. If you notice that there is a button start manage classroom over here. So if I press this button, it will bring me to the next page, which is screen 2. And you see the blocks. It says when button when click, do open ahead screen 1, screen 2. This means if I press the start manage classroom button, it should bring me to the screen 2, which is login page. So let's go to the screen 2, our login page. And this is our login page. As you can see, this is the design for our login page. So let's go to the blocks. Over here is the initialize global URL to http://ipad.dns.net testing/.php. Testing is our folder name to store our login.php file, and it says here when the button login dash click, it will, if the dashboard1.text equal to admin and dashboard2.text equal to admin, it should open on the screen name screen 4, which means you should be able to log into the system. Else, set web URL with global URL, which is this URL, haiqal.ddns.net, and call web1 post text join username dashboard1.text join password dashboard2.text, which means we post the data, the text on the dashboard1 and the text on the dashboard2 into the variable username and variable password or the PHP file that will show to you later. And this when web1.text call notify one is response dialog. If the get response code equal to 100, which means if the response code is mean if we able to connect to our PHP, our database, it should show the response content, which the meaning of response content is the content inside the PHP file that I will show to you later. And if the response content equal to login successful, which means login successful is on inside the PHP, our PHP file too. So I will show it to you later. Then open other screen 4, the system, which means this if we use the information, the username and password that set that contain on the database, we should be able to log in and go to the screen 4. That's the meaning of this block of coding. But if we press the button on that one, it will show the button, it will show the site for the technician to log in. Same goes to here. If we log in tag, which means for the technician, if they put the admin instead of their account using the password, they should be able to log into the system. Basically, button login tag 2 and button login tag 1 is the same thing. We used to log into the system. Alright, now we on the PHP file for app. So here we are now on the folder testing, the definition of PHP file, which is for the app. Alright, for the DB connection, user is root, password is our PHP admin password, host is localhost, and DB name is URS. Now let's go to the login.php file. Actually, login.php file is also like login.php file for the website, but is the only difference is there is no if is set or submit. And if you notice that the variable inside this post is same as the variable on the web1 post text join on the block coding in the app event MIT app event tag. So if the user put the admin, username admin and the password is admin, you should be able to connect to the system, to log into the system. Then goes when if they insert their username and password, just like content in their database, they should be able to log into the system. And if the username and password is not equivalent to the information that contained on the database, you should pop up the invalid username or password. Alright, now I will show to you the demo of our application development. As you can see right now, we're on the mobile, and this is our first page on mobile. This is our interface. And if you notice that there is a button start national school above there, if I press it, I should be able to go to the login page of our mobile. As you can see, we are now on login page. If I want to change the view of user from lecturer to technician, I just press the login as technician. As you can see, the view now is changed from the lecturer to the login for technician account. So if the user, which is lecturer and technician, want to enter the account, they just press the button to change the perspective or the view for them to login. Alright. If you remember earlier, if I put admin on the username and the password, I should be able to log into the system. As you can see, I'm able to log into the system if I put admin as the username and password. Right now, I will show to you. I'm able to log into the system if I insert the username and password based on the database, which is the user account, username and password that contained on the database. For example, if I put Haiqal, and the password is Haiqal 123. You should be able to log into the system. As you can see, it's still login successful, and now I'm logged in for the system. Now I'm successful to log into the system. So if I press log out for the system, and it brings me to the first page. Alright, that's it for me for the login for mobile app application. That's it for me. Thank you. Okay, we'll continue on the search function of our app development. As you can see here is our interface for search page of our app development. There is dashboard, the speaker, dashboard, button submit and button back, and so on. We go through all the building blocks. First thing first, initialize global URL to HTTP Haiqal.dds.net testing search.php. Before I go through on the button submit, I will go through on the initialize global category to null and initial global adressor to false. When screen is initialized, first thing first, it will set dashboard 2 visible to false, which means we will hide the dashboard 2, and then it will set the speaker 1 element to class name, property code, date and lecture name, where the class name, property code, date and lecture name is the choice for the user to choose if they want to search the class based on the class name, property code, lecture name. Next is valid speaker 1 of the beginning to if not set global adressor, then set global category to list speaker destination. What the main name by this is every time the user choose from the list speaker, it will set the global category based on the element they choose. For example, if I choose the list from the list speaker is a class name, then it will set the global category to the class name. And if I choose the property, if I choose the speaker property code, then it will set the global category to property code. And then we call the speaker open, set global adressor to true, set the visible, then it will go to if the global category equal to class name. As I said earlier, if I choose the speakers is property code, then it will set the global category to property code. But if you get the global category is a class name, it will set the dashboard 1 hint into class name. If the global category equal to property code, it will set dashboard 1 hint into the property code. If the global category is a date, then it will set dashboard 1 hint to the date. If the global category equal to lecture name, then it will set dashboard 1 dot hint to the lecture name. Else it will set the dashboard 2 dot text to get global category. If the set global category is to equal to lecturer name, then the get global category over here will equal to lecturer name. When the dashboard 2 get focused, do call the speaker open. This is one of the feature I made on the search page, where every time the dashboard 2 get focused or get clicked, it will open the speaker and the user get to choose whether they want to search the class based on the class name, property code, date or lecturer name. Alright, we back to the button submit. When the button submit, click do set web1.url to get global URL, where the global URL is the URL above, which is http Haiqal.dds.net. If the global category is the global category explained on the coding block below, equal to class name, it will set the dashboard 3.text to the class name. If the global category is property code, it will set dashboard 3.text to property. If the global category is date, it will set the dashboard 3.text to date. If the global category is lecturer name, it will set dashboard 3.text to lecture. Then it will call the web1 and then it will post the text into the variable of PHP. Type and the class name is the variable of PHP that inside the PHP file. The post variable inside the PHP file. So first the type, so the post variable will send the data to the PHP file based on the dashboard3.text. For example, if I choose the property code, it will set the dashboard3.text property. So the variable type will equal to the property. Same goes the class name, but the class name is based on the dashboard1.text, where the dashboard1.text is the data that we get from the user, where the user enter the data they want to search. For example, if the user want to search based on the class name, so they need to insert the class name on the dashboard1. For example, 𝐷K200, so they need to insert 𝐷K200 on the dashboard1. So then variable class name will equal to the 𝐷K200, and we send the data into the PHP file. Then we call web1.get. It will retrieve all the data from the PHP file, and we set the table view header data string to join class ID, class name, faculty code, start time, end time, date, and lecture name, where all of this class ID, class name, faculty code is the name for the table header, and you call the table view header with table arrangement, particular arrangement form. We call table view header with table arrangement, particular arrangement form, where which means is the table, all the it will build the table, display the table on the vertical arrangement form. Next is a button back click. We open a screen of screen 4, which is the display screen. And when the button display table click, it will display the table. Basically, all of this body block is actually similar to the body block of button submit, where there is a main function, where the main function of display table is to display the table. But for align table, it will align the table. So when the button align table click, do call table view match column width, where what the meaning by this is every time the button align table is clicked, it will align the column table into their place. And lastly is when button table is clicked, to set view table view 1 data string to none, which means it will clear all the table in the stage page. Okay, right now we are on the ch.php file, which is the PHP file for our mobile application. It's almost same with the PHP file for web development. There is a post type, there is a post class name. If the type equal to class name, then it will search the class list based on the class name. If the type is faculty, it will display all the class list based on the faculty. If the type is a date, it will display all the class list based on the date. As well goes to lecturer. If the type is lecture, so it will display all the class list based on the lecturer name. If the result is not equal to what we have in the database, it will invalid and will display nothing. While if the data the insert is similar and there is a similar data which with our inside our database, we will fetch all the result based on what the user search. The user search based on class name, so it will fetch all the result based on the class name, and it will echo. It will display all the data on the mobile application, which is in the table. Okay, right now I will show the demo for the search of our app for our mobile application. First thing first, I will search type. For example, if I want to search based on property code, I will choose the property code, and then I will insert what property in this text box. For example, I want to search for the class list based on the property FSG. Then if I press submit, it should display. Oh, there's a little bar over there. Yes. Now it will show all the class list based on property code, which is FSG. If you can see over there is the table is not aligned perfectly. So if I press the align table, as you can see it aligned perfectly. And yes, property code all FSG. If I want to change it based on lecturer name, so I choose lecturer name. Then over here I will put, for example, Dr. Izzul, and I click submit. You always open there as a little bar. Yes, you should see the lecturer name is Izzul. When I align the table, yes, it will show all the class lists that the lecturer Dr. Izzul or the Dr. Izzul. See, if I press clear table button, it clear the table. If I press the display button, so there's a little bug over there, but it's still functional perfectly. As you can see, even there's a bug, the class list still show the same thing. What I desire, which is lecturer name, not the Izzul. So you see, lecturer name to the Izzul. Right, that's it for me for the mobile application for search. Mobile application demo for search. Thank you.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zafian. I'm from URMS group. Okay, right now I'm gonna present to you a demo about register page in URMS. As you can see here, you can see click register to register a new user. Okay, click here. Okay, after that, you can enter all the details. For example, ID. For example, is the 2 and the username. Okay, the email, it must be email format. for example, @gmail.com. The password. Okay, this is a name. I'm going to use Haziq. Okay, this is an account type. You can choose technician or lecturer. For example, I'm going to choose technician. Okay, right now, I think I make a mistake. I'm gonna change account type to a lecturer. Click here. Okay, you can see lecturer. Okay, so just register account. Okay, data have been saved. Okay, right now I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna show the database about registered user. As you can see here, the database, the data is ID2, email@http@gmail.com, username Haziq, name is Haziq, username is PHTP, password PHTP, and the account type is a lecturer. Okay, right now I'm gonna explain about the blobs. Okay, so as you can see here, the interface that I demo before. Okay, you can click the blobs. I'm gonna explain this. Got in screen 3. As you can see here, the URL set up to HTTP. Okay, the join ID, text, email text, all the text, the contact, password, username, name, and email. Again, as you can see here, this is dialog, but the rest point, check connection, and then button back. When you click button back, it will bring you to screen 2. For example, yeah, the screen 2. Okay, if you click the back, it will go to this page. Okay, screen 3. Okay, we'll explain this for general. Okay, for screen 3, okay, it's a list for lecturer and technician. You can choose whether that is a user account type is a lecturer or technician. Okay, that's all from me, and then I will pass this presentation to my friend. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haiqal and I will explain about mobile app for classroom list and also a delete data features. Okay, so here we have the classroom list that we retrieve from the database. So I will show the operation. Okay, here is the operation. Okay, from here we have the table header. Okay, that we have the header for class name, faculty code, start time, end time, date, and lecture name. And also here we have a button display table. It is the same as the above operation. This is just for when we want to reload the table, just refresh the table. And so down here we have the operation for database connection. So here is a table view 1. This is a table content, and the get response content is the database. So I will show the database, the display.php. Okay, this is a display.php. Okay, so we first what we do is we select everything from the classroom table, and we display the result in the table using echo. So it will show like just now I just showed. Okay, so here we have features for the button logout, button add data, search data, member, delete for the navigation. Okay, so here we have also button for the align table and to clear the table. Okay, so for the delete table. Okay, so we proceed with delete data. So let's say we want to delete this data, pk02.alfian. So this data ID is 1. So let's say we want to delete, then we press delete data. Okay, we bring to here and we put ID 1 and we delete. Data deleted. Okay, and then if we press again, it will show data can't be found. That means that this data have been deleted from the database. Okay, we go back. And we can see that data Alfian classes is not in the table anymore. Okay, so I will show the operation. Okay. For the operation, Okay, here is the operation. Okay, sorry. Okay, here is the operation. Okay, so here for the delete features. Okay, so we take delete the PHP here. Okay, and here we have a delete button and get a global URL. So this URL is from here. icloud.ns.net /testing/delete PHP, and we will post the classroom ID to the PHP, and here we will delete the data. Okay, I will show here is for the database connection. Okay, so the response content is for this response from the database. Okay, so I will show the delete the PHP. So here what happened is we take the classroom ID from the user, and then we store in the classroom ID, and the SQL we select everything from the classroom table where classroom ID is equal to classroom ID that the user already entered. So we delete the classroom ID. We delete from the classroom table where classroom ID is we get the ID from the user, and if the ID cannot be found, so it will show data can't be found. That means the data already been deleted from the table. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hariz bin Zaid. So in this video, I will show you guys how to update the data using the mobile apps. So as you can see here in the table, we have a few of data that already been installed. So let's say that I want to update the last data, CS110 8 to 10 a.m. by Dr. Ramli. So how do I need to update it? First, I need to click update data button, and it will bring us to the update data form. So we need to fill all the blank box. Code. They say that we want to change CS112. So we select the faculty. For example, we select the not under faculty. Start time 0A 2 AM. So month 07. They say that we want to change the date 15 2022, and then we want to change the lecturer name. They say that we want to change Dr. Alif. So after we fill all the blank, so we click to the submit button. So it will pop up data already been updated. So we click the back button. So we check the table. So as you can see here, the data already been updated. CS112, not under faculty, at 2 AM. So 15/7 by Dr. Alif. So as you can see here, this is all the coding for the interface of the app's mobile. So as you can see here, this is all the specialties for all the text box. For example, we can see here for text box 2, the faculty that we insert before. After we click the text box, it will bring us to the new screen that show all the lists. We can see under faculty apply, faculty account, and faculty computer. So after the picking, also these are all the specialties that have been shown previously in the interface of our app. So for this section is when the button submit have been clicked, it will show that all the update data. For example, we can see here on all the text box, we update the class name, faculty, start time and time, and also date time and lecturer name. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I will explain about the member list and about how to add data to our mobile app. So, firstly, I will explain about how to do member list in our mobile app. Okay, let's see here. This is the member list of our mobile app. We have the picture, we have name, we have IC number, student number, program code, and we have group class and email. So after that, we have all of the information about the member our team. Okay. So this is the block for the member list data. So now I want to explain about, I want to do the demo about how to add the data in our database. So next I will show about how to add data in our mobile apps. Okay, so firstly, to add data, we must insert the new data at this. So we insert 18. Class code, let's say we insert BK02. Faculty, we choose, let's say we want computer science. Okay. Start time, let's say 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. Okay. Let's say we want to do the class tomorrow. So tomorrow is 15. Okay. Session name. Okay. Then we click submit. So data has been saved. So after that, we want to check the data. We click back. So we see that the data I already have here. Okay. Now I will show about how the block works. This is the block for the add data. Okay. So firstly, we have the block. This block is for for the user choose for the faculty, and this block is for the user choose the time to set. Okay, and then this block is for the button back if the user click button back, and then the mobile app will display back. So this block is for the database connection, and then this block is for the user input. All of the data that the user insert will be here and will go to this link. And this at the PHP, this link will go to this page, VS Code, this page. We use the post method to connect the data from the block go to this page. And then after that, check data equal to MySQL. MySQL query connect, select all from classroom where from ID equal to ID. And then if we check the data, if the data they have, and then it will display the data they have. And if the data did not have, the data will insert into the database, and then will display the data have been saved. So that's all for me. Thank you.